G'day there folks, I'm Beanie, you're watching Beanie Draws, and you thought that last video from my, what was it, part 5, I think, part 4, something like that, of Indominus Rex versus Tyrannosaurus Rex was going to be the last video. I did allude to it being the last video, and I actually wasn't planning on continuing it any further. However, I got a lot of great suggestions and demands that I should draw Mosasaurus, and I actually think that's a pretty cool idea. So I'm not sure whether to put it just in here or to have it kind of floating up and splashing out. I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to have the Mosasaurus jumping out of the water in the background. So you may see this, notice this line, but I'm just going to do a little bit more solid, a little bit of a horizon line, just to get a bit of a visualization of where the Mosasaurus will be jumping out from. And I'll probably put some little bars down here to start off with, because that's going to be where the retention gate is going to be. So I'm just going to put these little retention bars in the background. That's going to be where the lagoon is. Like so. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the body, or the head, up here. You're not going to see a huge amount. Maybe I'll try and bring her up a little bit, keep her in the frame as much as I can, and try not to have the camera go out of focus like it wants to keep doing, because it's naughty. So I think I'll try and have the Mosasaurus head up around here. So that's going to be the line for the back of the head. That's going to be the snout. And I'm going to draw an eye up around here. And I'm going to make the eye looking down. Hopefully you can actually see that. So I'm going to draw a little circle here for the eye to be looking down, looking at Mosasaurus. Not Mosasaurus, looking at Indominus Rex, because it's going to be eating that. And then what I'll do is I'll draw like a little bit of a imaginary circle, which isn't imaginary because we're drawing it, but just to give an idea of where the neck will be. Then put the mouth there. That's going to be the top lip. Draw the nostril or nose around there. A lot of it's going to be covered by Indominus Rex. And I'm going to have the mouth coming down here. But because this is pencil, this is fine. You can actually draw through Indominus Rex. Because, you know. And I've actually got another Mosasaurus video drawing video coming along, which is kind of like this, so you don't have to worry about, you know, Indominus Rex covering a lot of it. So I'm going to have the body coming out around here. So from the top of the head or the back of the head, I'm going to draw a line. I'm basically drawing through so I know which parts are where. And then the tail goes down here, and it's going to be quite a little tail, because it's coming out of the water. I'll draw a little flipper here. So 2 lines. Just imagine it quite like a dolphin flipper. I'm going to put another flipper here. Won't really be able to see the flipper behind Indominus Rex. Oh, actually, I'll put the flipper down here. A little flipper down there. And then I'll draw a flipper kind of up here before the T-Rex, behind the T-Rex, I should say. Draw that behind its head. I'm going to give it little wavy lines, so it's like, hey, hi guys, I'm still here. I've been invited to the party. Thanks to everybody who suggested me being put into this video. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little jaw line there. And then I'm going to give it a whole bunch of teeth. Probably the teeth I'll make the teeth about the size of Indominus Rex's teeth. This Mosasaurus isn't going to look very realistic or even very detailed, because he's just kind of in the back there going, hey, hi guys. But just, people suggested I should add a mosasaur, so I'm doing that. So I'm going to put in the membrane between the mouth, like around here. And I'm going to draw some teeth in there. Not much teeth can actually be visible in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some lines, some curved, think of them kind of like smiley face, the smile lines, and then I'm just going to make those lines get a little bit faded down, and those little smile lines, so those little smile lines, okay, sorry, I was having a fight with my focus here. So these should be little, just imagine them like smiley mouths, and they're not going to be as, when we go over and fine line it, these lines are going to be more like around here and around there. They're more just to give you the impression of a cylindrical object. I'm just going to draw those lines behind blue. Probably draw some little lines in there. Those lines will be like the flipper, and you can't really see much because of the belly, but I'm just going to put in some kind of hints at the spines that go along its back and head. To be honest, you still can't really see much at the moment because of the way the light is reflecting off my pencil, so I apologize for that. But once we get into the pen stage, which won't be very far away, so when I go through this in ink, you'll see more. But what I've got here is I've got a line kind of going down, up, and then a little bit across. Not a huge amount, just a little bit, just to give the impression, just to give it a bit of a snout look. And I'm trying to keep this line as much as I can in the frame. So I'll go like that. And I know that there are teeth, a second row of teeth inside its mouth, which I should actually update my How to Draw Mosasaurus video. But as you can see, Indominus Rex's head is mostly covering it. So I'll do some little teeth in there. If you can even see them. Probably can't. I'm also going to draw a little line here and here. Maybe a little line there, just so you can kind of see. Also, I'm going to draw these little lines, just kind of, they look a little bit flippery. I'll go like that. Then, what I'm going to do, before I get to, this little guy's just kind of floating there. He's going to be next, but what we're going to just quickly do is draw some splishy-splashy lines. So I'm just going to, you don't have to be too particular about this, but how I like to draw splashy lines is I just draw a little bit of a curve here, then I draw a long curved line to a rounded blob, bring that line down, and as you can see, I do lots of little strokes, so that's just kind of how I draw. Bring that down, and then, you can have these lines further down or further up, just however you feel it. I might draw the lines like this, and this blob down there. Try and keep it as natural and organic as possible. Don't make it seem too, planned. So I might make the splash finish about there. I am going to draw a splash there, or a drip. You can just draw a drip like this if you want, or a drip like that. I might draw a few little drips, some little splishy-splashy splashes. I'm just going to draw my little splashes where I kind of feel like they should go. I might actually draw a splash up in there as well, just to give the idea of the height of how high she's getting out of the water. So I'll draw some splashes there. And actually, what I would suggest is if you're doing splashes or anything, your best bet, like the reason why I started this whole tutorial long ago from T-Rex and then Indominus Rex last, is that it's actually best to draw from the left to the right. I was a little bit silly, I didn't do it that way, so how I usually go is, because see now, if I was going to try and use this side as balance to get this side drawing, my hand's covering it, and that is not very convenient. So what I usually do when I realize I've been a little bit silly in that regard is I just hold the pen a little bit closer down. And for the record, if you're wondering, I'm using a mechanical pencil. I think I've got a video which explains which mechanical pencil this is. It's a Pantail, but any mechanical pencil, or for that matter, any pencil, will do exactly the same thing, more or less. Just make sure it's got a sharp tip. Anyway, and now I'm just gonna do the splishy-splashy lines here. Gonna get a few more splishes in there. Another splish there. And I'm just like holding it at an angle so my hand isn't getting in the way. Might make some wave lines, see how that goes. A little bit silly actually to have those lines up there. I think I'll get rid of them because the water is actually at a lower angle to the floor. So we'll do those splishy-splashy lines next. And I'm also going to draw a moon just here, because if you watch the movie, there is a moon in the background for some slight illumination. And you know what? I'm not going to do it right now. I probably won't do it for a while, so don't expect the next planned video to come about anytime soon, as I just draw a round circle, because it takes me a few goes to get the round circle, because drawing round circles is difficult, in my opinion anyway. You can use a retractor if you want. But I will, probably if I remember to, color this entirely as well. I've got another video coming eventually where I did do in color as well. But I will do this in color at some point if I remember to. That won't be for a few months to come because I've got some other ideas I want to finish. I probably will draw this at some point, but the edited video will not be out this year. It probably won't even be out next month in January. But that out of the way, I'm just gonna draw some craters in this moon. I'm just gonna do little generic ones. I kind of like to have them like on one side and not on the other. It gives a little bit of an indication of a roundedness. Maybe I might do like, sometimes I just do like half a little circle here and there. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Like sometimes I can just do like, emphasize on one side of the moon. That's a splash of water. We might even, actually I'm gonna make that splash of water a little bit further out. So you can tell it's a splash of water and not a moon crater. Gonna draw some more of those things like that, more craters. And I'm just doing a bit of an edge, like so. Doing another sort of circle there. Another circle there. And see, like, that's just how I do moons. You can even do like a little bit, but you know, you don't have to put too much detail in there. It's just kind of there. I might even, when I'll show you soon, but I'll probably do a little bit of speckled line there. But I think for now, that does it for the drawing stage. So next, I am going to do the line art. So continuing on, I'm going to be doing the line art with these Unipin pens. I probably already showed you it. If you haven't seen the video explaining what I'm using, I will try to remember to put an annotation in linking to the Tyrannosaurus inking video, which will explain in a little bit more detail what I'm using. But what I'm just going to go and do is go over most of this in a 0.1 mil line. Also, for the record, oh, buzz off, bug. Who invited you here? Also, for the record, if you're wondering what the little noises are, it might sound like a little motorized noise. That is the sound of my camera trying to focus or refocus. Because my camera is pointing down at the moment, I've got a feeling that some of the little mechanical features inside the camera which allows it to focus, because it's pointing down, the weight or pull of that is making it try to refocus, which is interfering, and sometimes it'll try to refocus, and that's the sound that you're hearing. So if you're hearing the bzz, 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 bzz noise occasionally, that's what's happening. So I'm gonna go over, okay, around here, which I can just fit in the frame, and draw over try not to mess it up too much. That's the brow line. And then I'm going to draw the rest of the brow line. And bring that to about there. Then I'm going to align there for the head, the back of the head. The actual Mosasaurus has quite small eyes, but I'm giving it big eyes. Like so. I'm not very good with drawing with pens sometimes, so this video may not be as good as my other ones, but I'll see how we go. I'm just going to give it a pupil there. Then I'm going to draw a little bit of a lip here. Bring the line out. I'm not very good at drawing straight lines. And then a line there for the tip of the nose, and trying to keep this line as non-wiggly, because if you notice my hand is quite shaky. That is just, it's not really nose or anything. It might be a little bit, but it's mostly just a thing called essential tremor, I think, which is something that I can't really do about it unless I just, get myself more calm. Sometimes I'm good at drawing with pen, sometimes I'm not good at drawing with pen. I'm going to draw a little line there for the edge of the flipper. And you might notice that some of my lines, I'm sort of doing it in a more tapered style. I'm going to draw the membrane in between its mouth. Then I'm going to refine the lower part of the mouth, being careful now not to draw in through the lines of the Indominus Rex. So I'm going to just do it like that. That's the very tip of the lower chin. Then I'm going to draw the lower jaw. That's just kind of how I draw. I'm going to draw the outside of the mouth there. Draw a tooth. Another tooth, and then the teeth here. And then I'll probably make... I don't know why I did it like that, but I did. Some teeth there. Some teeth. More teeth. Hiding behind Indominus Rex's claw. Right, so in here, I'm going to draw that other line for the other side of the mouth, and then one tooth, because that's about all we can see. Might draw another tooth there, and a tooth there for the inside of the mouth. I'm actually going to draw a line here for the jaw, another line there for the jaw, and then inside there it'd be like tongue and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do too much detail in there because it'll take away from the detail of the Indominus Rex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here, and that line kind of imitates going through in there and gives the impression of a bit of a gum area. Might do the same up here, give it a bit of a gum. And down here I won't color it because that will interfere and mess with the dark coloring there, but I will color in around here. So it contrasts from the mouth, and it contrasts from Indominus Rex's head. So I'm going to do that. And then around here, I'm just going to fade out the shading a bit, using a bit of a crosshatch style. And I'm thinking in editing, I'm probably going to zoom in on that part. A lot of that will have been time-lapsed. But that's kind of how the mouth goes. I'm going to make the mouth a little bit stronger already. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to add in some little tiny lines here. Just a little bit of detail, maybe a little bit here, because I think Mosasaurus has a bit of a scaled appearance in the mouth. Not hugely, but a little bit. And I might do the same down here. I'll just add these little tiny lines, not as insane as there. Kind of more like around here. Because we don't want to put in a huge amount of detail, just a little bit. Just a brief indication. I might actually put in a few little hatchy lines just to bring in a little bit of shadow there. Then I'm actually going to put some shading in right here, right away. Draw in the back spikes, like so. I'm going to draw in some shading in the flipper, just so it can contrast a bit from Rexy. Try not to mess up too much. And I'm making it darker here, just, I don't know, just for contrast's sake. It's contrasting in a way that wouldn't show up in photography, but it kind of brings a little bit more attention, I guess. Going to make it light there, not a huge amount. Then I'm going to draw in the stomach, the rest of the body. The flipper is in there. Being careful not to draw through the shine. I'll draw a flipper edge there. It wasn't very good, but that's alright. And some very, very, very light lines there. Going to give it some very light shading. Some very light shading, because we don't want it to compete too much with Indominus Rex's jaw. Might make it a little bit darker there. And then draw that line coming down there. Draw the flipper. Like so. Draw an edge line, not all the way down, just a little bit. Because I find it looks good kind of like that. Might draw some flipper lines, but I don't think you can really see the flipper. I'm just going to do it like that, because I don't think you can see like the nail or the finger segments, despite the fact that the flippers are actually made from finger bones from the looks of it, rather than nothingness. Then I'll draw the other flipper, like so. Draw a little bit of shading there, because I don't want it to dominate too much there. Might make a little bit of shading there, little line there, because we don't want it. We want it to intersect with blue, but we don't want it to overbear. And then I'm going to do some of the water. I think what I'll do is I'll have the water actually coming up there. Bit of a splash there. Some water splashes. Just going over the splashes we already did. Splash there. Splash, splash. And a splash there. Splish, splash there. Oh, that's right. Kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. Because I wanted to, you know what? It doesn't matter. I will draw that that fence bit there, and I'll just color it in, make it black, so it's a little bit of a background. And then like so. Draw some water coming through there, showing up. I'm going to quickly use a ruler to rule a bit of a line here, being careful not to draw through any body structures. And also, if you're drawing with felt tip marker and you're drawing your lines with a ruler over felt tip marker, I think that might have messed up a little bit. That may, we'll just see how that goes. I hope that didn't mess it up too badly, because I realize it might not actually play too well with the ink, with the the water. But what you want to do is don't pull the ruler away straight away. Give a few moments for the ink to dry, otherwise you'll smear your ink down and that will look bad. So that should be okay. Just carefully. There we go. Not too bad. Did mess up a little bit there, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just use a bit of shading just to camouflage the mistake. That's if you ever make a mistake with your artworks, just try and find a way to camouflage your error. And the good thing is that the moon actually works pretty well as a light source with how I already did this image. That wasn't planned, but it's a cool little incidental thing. So I'm just gonna draw some of the splashes. I'm just gonna draw a little bit of shading in there. A little bit of shading there. Gonna make that line a little bit thicker. So just gonna make those lines a bit darker, just to bring them out a little bit. I might bring some little, draw some little lines in there just for like the water reflection lines. Some little lines like so. Little line like that and that. Then more splishiness there. A little splashy there. A little splash here, a little bit splash there. Little messy, but that's okay. Just gonna fix up that line a little bit. Make it a little, yeah, we'll make it a little bit darker there. And then bring a little bit of shading in there for Mosasaurus. Gonna make that line a little bit thicker for the tail. Gonna add some lines. Don't make them that way. What I'm gonna do is make them sort of a little slight bit curved and going in with the shape of the body or the contour of the body. Because Mosasaurus is a cylindrical, or Mosasaur if I've been pronouncing it wrong, is a cylindrical shape for its body. I'm just giving it very light. See now what I'm doing is very, like I'm trying my best not to even touch the page. Ideally for something like this, actually I'm using a 0.2, that's what I'm doing wrong. Should really be using a 0.1 or even a 0.05 if you can get your hands on one. You'll rarely use them, but sometimes they come in handy. Okay, to give you an idea, this is a 0.1 Unipin fine liner. They're very common. They cost about $3 max. This is a Copic multi-liner 0.03. It's very, very thin. It's also very expensive. I think the pen itself costs about $10. But it produces very thin lines, which sometimes comes in handy. But not a huge amount, because you see a little bit of it, but you know. It's good if you want to put little bits of detail without having strong, thick lines. So if you want to put very, very, very thin lines, it gives the impression that there's a line there, but barely noticeable. Pick yourself up a 0.03 or a 0.05 will also do fairly well. And that will help you with your lines, making them a bit thinner, so you don't have to go. So you can give a little bit of shading without going overboard. I'm going to give a little bit of lines down there, a little bit of line down there, and I may actually be able to get this video out before the end of the year. Let's hope. I'll do my best. Then what I'm going to do is complete the moon. I'll try not to get in the way, but what I'm going to do is use lines that aren't too thick and just draw sort of half the circle. So sort of half circles. I'm going to draw the moon shape as cylindrical as I can. Cylindrical, what am I talking about? As sphere-like as I can. Sometimes I find spheres a little bit difficult to draw. If you just use multiple little lines, you can sort of build up the sphere shape a little bit. Draw that sploosh. I'll try and complete this moon without the camera going out of focus too much. Word of warning, if you want to do tutorials using a C920 Logitech, you're going to deal with a lot of focus issues if you're trying to film with it. It gets, like, I've got it set to manual focus, and it will still go out of focus and try and autofocus, which is really freaking annoying. I'll do the best I can. Try not to get in the way too much. That's also why I really enjoy drawing digitally now, because it doesn't lose focus. It stays the same sharpness all the time. So that's probably why I'm going to be doing a lot of my videos now in the style of in the style of my other digital drawings of late. I'm going to draw some little lines here, just to give it a slight bit of a sphere kind of vibe. Just drawing very lightly. I'm not the best at drawing moons. My moons kind of suck, but you know, that's no moon. There we go. Now, maybe I will do a little bit of black in the background. I don't know. I probably won't actually, because if I do black in the background, it's just going to add more time into this, and I can do that later on when I'm coloring it digitally, which I probably will do later. Just going to complete it with some of these little lines, little hey, how's it going, flipper sort of lines. I'm going to make those lines a little bit darker for the wrinkle lines. Not too bad. I'm going to add these little splishy-splashy lines. And then I'm just going to erase that last little bit. Wait for the ink to settle before you do your erasing. Erase my lines. Quickly go over it with a few last little lines, just to finishing it up. So, there you have it. You asked for it, so I delivered it. I added in a Mosasaurus for Tyrannosaurus Rex facing off Indominus Rex. So I'll probably go over Mosasaurus in post-production on computer and drop it down maybe 10%, 10 or 20% in opacity, just so it isn't as strong and dominant, and also so T-Rex and Indominus Rex can kind of be the focal point with the surprising Mosasaurus in the background. Also, apologies for my really wonky, wacky moon, but hey, such is life. And yeah, just always adding things. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I have probably put into the right here somewhere a whole bunch of links to the other videos, or at least the playlist anyway. Thanks for watching this video, thanks for all the feedback, thanks for all the likes so far, and thanks for all the comments, and hopefully you've enjoyed this epic journey of cartoonic proportions. I don't know, that sounded lame. But either way, thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Cheerio for now.